Welcome, pool fans, to the 25th annual Derby City Classic. It's like a huge family gathering of people who love pool each year just outside of Louisville. And with that said, everybody watching this match today, if you would do one thing, just recruit one person this next year and involve them with pool, just think how that would grow the sport we love. And let me ask, Derby City, does anybody love pool here? We love pool, and we have been seeing some amazing shots and some amazing pool playing going on this week so far, and this event has become a fan favorite. This is the Diamond Bigfoot 10-ball challenge, all played on this beautiful 5 by 10-foot diamond. 16 of the greatest players, and we are in the semifinal round. Only one can move on to the championship, and it's time to meet the players. Are we excited, Derby City? We are so excited, and let's go right now. First up, a world 9-ball champion, back-to-back all-around Derby City champion. He's won every event at the Derby but this one. Sponsored by Diamond, Talm, and Triple 60. He defeated Jason Shaw in round 1 and Victor Zelinsky in the quarterfinals to get here. He's from Moscow, Russia, but now a proud American. Make some noise for the Ghost, FEDOR GORST. And his opponent is a U.S. Open champion, world 9-ball champion, and 6-time Mosconi Cup member for Team Europe. He's defeated Jesus Atencio in round 1, John Mora in the quarterfinals to get here. He's sponsored by How Tip, Predator, Handy Cloth, and Apex Tables from Bühnen, Germany. The killer, Joshua FILLER. We're lagging for the break. Our referee is Ricky Bryant. I almost got his hometown right this time. Sending it up to the ACCUSTATS booth.
Here we go, pool fans. Elite class 10-ball with two of the brightest stars of our sport. I'm Mark Wilson, and here with us is the best pool analyst going, Jeremy Jones. So glad to have you here, Jeremy. What are your initial thoughts?
What a match to wake up to and get started here. What is this, day 4 of the Derby now?
Yeah.
Of course, two of the best in the business. Expect a lot of breaking runs.
Yeah, each player comes into this match with 4 breaking runs to their credit. This match is worth $8,000. We're playing a race to 10 in 10-ball. 10-ball does not win on the break. No jump cues. Alternate the break.
You know, I feel like we might see 4 apiece from them here in this match.
That's what it's going to take to, because you can't gunfight rack for rack and expect to separate yourself from your opponent.
Yeah, both of them you're going to see a more powerful break. Not really controlled at all. Cue ball flying past the sides for both players. FEDOR broke the balls really well in his first match, but then struggled some, had some awful kisses. If you remember, his first 2 breaks, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Survived that match, but so after the break, it was awesome. And speaking of awesome, a lot of words you could label for the guy at the table right now. And awesome with a capital A is one of them.
Nice open layout here to start the match. Ricky Bryant is our official.
Okay, looks like he's going to stun to stay above the 2. Looks like he has options, but wanted to play the angle. Now he's got to get off the rail here a little bit, Mark. You don't figure him to put inside here and come across between the 7-8. You figure him to hold the angle. But the 4's a little over on the rail.
I feel he's hitting them so pure. I watched this bank pool match, and it just, you can't hit them any better.
Well, I think one thing with FILLER, especially with the 10-ball break, the 9-ball break, we cut sometimes, we do different things, different speeds.
Yeah.
But when you see him really pure in the 10-ball break, I know it's just the break, but it seems like everything else is just going to be right on point as well. A little funny here. Going to have to go forward.
Yeah, this transition will be kind of the tail of this rack right here, getting from the 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, but, to his credit, the talent, of course, and, things you can't explain when it comes to talent, right? Just because it's so unique how special some people are. But his resolve, I think, is as much a credit as anything.
Oh.
You know, like him accepting these and understanding it's going to happen and being able to focus behind it.
And you make a great point there. He settled that he knew he had to leave the cue ball on the rail, just go down here and play this shot. Still a tough shot.
Yeah, and you know, usually Josh, if you know him and watch him, his stressing is kind of like he turns his head a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's about it. He just doesn't get too bent.
No, his commitment to the shot, though, he doesn't have that. You know, sometimes I'll say he was split-minded or 50-50 or undecided. You know, there's never that with Josh. He's committed.
Yeah, and, you know, and the other thing about it is when it does peek its head, and it does because we're all human, he gets right back on sorts. I mean, right back on the plan quickly. He recognizes, you know, that, oh, I got a little weak-minded there or whatever it was. And that's the thing you got to do. You got to have those conversations with yourself a little bit. You know, a real clean break and run, or
Run out from a dry break.
Yeah, a dry break.
He's only 26 years old, comes from Germany. And one of those, you know, once-in-a-lifetime type talents.
Yeah, and, you know, usually it's pros down the totem pole just a little bit, where the strong mind really makes them be able to compete with the ones that are just a little more talented. Here, I think it's just everything, right? Where Josh Filler has got the talent and the strong mind.
All right, we got a lot of people tuned in. I'm going to tell you something. There's not a lot of work getting done today at the Farm King in Macomb, Illinois. We got Brody Dakin and Chuck Laird tuned in. Welcome aboard. Chris Salvo in St. Louis. He got iced out. We had some bad weather there. He's home watching, hitting balls. Jim Kuhn out in Topeka, Kansas. Welcome aboard, Jim. Mike Mancinas, Pocahontas, Illinois. That's the home of Gretchen Wilson, Stretch and Gretchen. Bob Downey in Mount Vernon. Bert Tucker, Spokane, Washington. Kathy Kroom tuned in cold Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, a little disappointed in that era after yesterday's game.
5 and the 9. The ball's right behind the 1.
Carbon copy of FEDOR's break, really. A little less power, but the side balls went almost exactly the same position, a little past the sides. All right, delicate here.
23-year-old Gorst. This is the one title here at the Derby that escapes him. Everything else he's won, to include 2 Masters of the Table awards, which is a pretty nice prize, in addition to all the money that you won along the way.
Yeah, beautiful hit here. He may have hit it too well. No, he's got the snooker. I think the nine's okay. First shot, though, pretty delicate for your first shot.
Yeah.
Oh, he does have some of it. So he's going to go down, bringing maybe the 1 to the middle, maybe near the head spot as the cue ball comes down table. Maybe less. Maybe a little thinner on the 1.
Adam Granatelli wants to let me know. He's tuned in, too. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you. I think everybody's looking forward to this. I know even last night when I was looking at the matchups, I couldn't wait for this to get started, even though it's 40 minutes late due to some bank pool action. We're underway now.
Yeah. Don't know if we'll have that 4:30 second semifinal right on time, but we'll be good tonight at 9 o'clock for our final. Little curve shot here, and the reason why the curve's so good, if you have all these balls there to where if you can clip one side or the other, there's no real scratch. It doesn't appear. There's a lot of good things that can happen, basically. And there's
one of them, yeah.
It's almost like the soft kick, Mark, that I talk about sometimes, or you and I discuss. When there's other balls, you know, that soft kick has a lot of value. Good shot.
These guys play these percentages so well. They understand the use of secondary object balls as blockers to force the action to extend the game, get themselves back to the table one more time. Maybe the balls are in a little better workable arrangement. This is 1 inning 10 ball, and what that means is when they get a open shot, it often results in a kill. But fighting for that first open shot is tough.
Yeah, what do you do here? Do you just roll across it and just float behind the 9 and let the 1 just kind of bounce a little bit? Touchy shot. Looks like he's putting more speed than that.
This is trouble. This is, how's he do? Really good on the 2.
Yeah, it is trouble, but maybe for the lefty. I'm sorry, Mark.
No, it was a great shot, well designed. Totally played the cue ball. Just gave up trying to control the 1. Just said, I'm just going to pin that cue ball over here.
Well, the good thing about that, even though, again, just like hard shots to pocket, they'll take on difficult safeties as well. But he got to hit it with a stroke that wasn't totally light. He got to put a little more on it, control it a little bit better. Because that shot I was talking about, you miss a little bit, you'd liable him just straight in on the 1. So that's why I was wondering what he might do, because it was a little touchy. Difficult kick here with the side looming. You want to put a little speed, but easy to scratch off the 1. Hit
Nice
it any
shot.
better there?
No. They couldn't have designed it any better. And that was a possibility, just like what Jeremy said. You can scratch. Also, Josh recognized if he hits it a little bit full, he can whistle it down here and give himself a good chance to get the clutter involved.
And I just love the speed, because he took it to where if he did hit the bad side, it had a chance not to scratch as well, because it wasn't so hard where it kind of ricochet off the 1 into the side pocket. Okay, here, just a high ball, medium, try and catch, what do you say, Mark, the lower hemisphere of that 1, right?
Yeah, and try to put the 1 ball on the second rail down there by the 5 and then kick it under the 7, something like this. Uh-oh, don't make the 6. He did make the 6, so.
Yeah,
the 6 ball prevented the scratch, but also it left himself pretty tough.
But you can see they're executing on all cylinders, it looks like. I mean, he hit it how he wanted, knowing the 6 was there. If he makes the 6, hey, he'll play. But both players on point. Now what, though? Wow. Yeah, you can see, and you don't see that kind of shake of the head very often from FEDOR.
Yeah. This is almost that same deal. Just give up on the 1 ball and just try to pin that cue ball to the 2, or go super soft. But the scratch is a little bit bigger this time from where the cue ball's at, so that might not be the right shot. In fact, I don't think it is.
Yeah, your first shot, if he can get through it, that going like behind the 2, but again, very dangerous. I may just test filler here. I know it sounds crazy, but I may roll across the 1 trying to get it to at least the center of the table or so. I just don't know what else the shot is. He's going to play the soft.
Trying to get through.
Yeah, and get to
and test him. Okay.
Yeah, you got,
great shot. Great shot. That's what the table would give you. Anything more was too risky.
Yeah, and it's early. You know what I mean? So the only problem is he'll probably cut this in the side. May take it the corner, but wide open table to run the cue ball on the far side here. And, the same characteristics for other players does apply to Josh as well. Just not quite as much, overall, but early in the match, a little more susceptible to make a mistake or miss a ball.
Pool is hard, and these are 4 1/4 inch pockets. And if you start to lose your confidence, when you look down the table, it looks like the flight deck of an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, it's a big table. Okay, he's going with a high ball. Does he have to get all the way down, or is there a path off the 2 to run between all these balls? I guess there is. Yeah, between the 7, 9, and then around some 2 to 3 rails. He's going to have to heavy stun here a little bit.
Yeah, and then the 5 ball is going to be, you're going to have to hit a good ball to avoid that 5 ball and get past it to get down table.
Well, he's real good at transferring the English on the cut and just adding a hair of the right to where it really doesn't open up so much. So the 5 is a problem, but should be okay. Ooh.
When he went with the power, that held that tangent line longer, and that's what did it. If he goes softer, which he wouldn't get position on the 3 either, but it just seemed like that right at the last instant he had a little bit more power, and that's what happened. Got right heavy into the 5.
Yeah, it looked like, on that shot you want to feel that 3rd rail with the cue ball. And, you know, I think he was trying to really get to that third rail instead of maybe kind of stun floating around, you know, and it made him get into the ball a little bit. I think he's got a piece of this, or no? No, he's dead snookered.
This will just be a kick and stick. Oh, nice. Good speed, good execution. That's outstanding pool.
All right. He's looking at 2 rails behind. He can. This is another soft kick that, you know, if you feel good about hitting it, there's a lot of ways you can bump this 3 and not only get a snooker, but at least keep him off a shot for maybe 1 inning.
Could make the 9 here, maybe not.
Yeah, I like the soft kick, sure. But just see how the 3 got on top of the cue ball. You know, it's not necessarily going to get the snooker, but a lot of funny little situations. Efren used to be so incredible at that. Just knew kicking softly, he could come across it a couple different ways and kind of survive for a moment or two. Going behind the 5 or the 7?
Trying to get behind the 7. I don't know how much he got him. Certainly didn't leave anything easy.
So we're going to have a few of these games in this set. You wouldn't figure a ton of them, but when these guys are really hitting the ball well, seeing things even better.
And it kind of starts off with when the cloth is a little bit broke hand like this is. Balls start hanging up a little bit more freely, nor do they go in on the break quite as easily. So there's going to be a little bit more tangled up situations.
Yeah, it hasn't been every match, but it seems like the table kind of changes one way or another as far as the break. There's been a lot of matches where it broke well at the beginning, really got tougher as it went, and then vice versa. The funny thing is I didn't get to see FEDOR practice the break, but FILLER was really breaking them well. Going 3 rails behind this, Mark? Trying to get a little separation?
Or maybe trying to 2-rail it. Oh, that was a 1-railer. I don't think that's what he meant, though. I think he was going the 2-railer. Or no, 3-railer.
3,
yeah, with that speed.
Yeah, he wanted the speed because, you know, coming in behind it with the ball so close. Okay, the 7 is pretty tight by the 10. I mean, if you had ball in hand, I think it goes pretty easy, but I think it'll be a 7-10 combination to finish this rack. Or an attempt.
He made his cue out there. I think he's planning on 2 cushions. No, just going to roll it. Oh, he was able to thread right on by there. Nice shot.
Yeah, Josh's mentality, I was going to say that earlier, that all the players always talk about, you know, we play on 4-inch pockets on the World 9-Ball Tour, and those tables get broken pretty quickly and they get tough.
Yeah, yeah.
But all the players always talk about how Josh is willing to accept the shot rather than add a lot of side spin, try and get a little closer or whatnot. And, you know, that mentality here on the 10-footer's got to really play big, I think.
And airmen for Belgian billiard balls heading into rack 3. FEDOR GORST
2-0 for Josh FILLER.
at the break.
I'm not sure yesterday when I left. We were walking down. I think Anthony Maglino and Shane were heel to the case ball. I'm not sure who won that match. That was round 4 of the Banks, I believe. SVB in a Banks match at the moment. FEDOR GORST to break here in game 3.
$2-0 here.
Is that cue
Oh, I like that break. Made 2 balls. Let's see, 3, 6, 8. Yeah, 2 balls.
And I don't think he can really advance trying to run out. I'm not sure. The one on the side to get on the 3 looks super difficult. Not just pocketing the 1, but moving the cue ball. I think it'll be the cue ball behind the 4. Maybe not. If he can go past the side naturally, now that's different. But I think he's pretty straight-ish, or maybe hitting a hair before the side. I'm not sure. He wants to take on the shot, especially after all those kicks that Josh came with in the last game. He's not even considering putting behind the 4, so he's going. Must have a natural angle to get past the side, maybe short side on the 3.
I love how still he stays throughout the delivery. Look at that shot to the side.
Yeah, so he had a nice angle to go past the side. Makes sense why he didn't consider the safety.
Gorst grew up in Moscow playing on a Diamond 5x10, so he's quite comfortable with this. I first met him here in this very tournament when he was 16 years old, and he did not lose right out. It was evident that he was going to be a superstar.
Yeah, I might not be thinking right, but I thought he made a deep run in that event. At first, I thought it was the final, but maybe just the semifinal. I remember coming to watch, I thought, at least 3 of his matches. Yeah, he was 16. He looked, even though he was tall, such a baby face back then. Still does somewhat. A little flatter than he wanted. Should be okay, though. But here, do you try to draw into straight? You can't stun out too much. Or you just kind of come one rail at the 7 here, Mark?
I think he's just going to take what he has. Yeah, just get it away from the side rail.
And it should be enough angle to come between the 9-10. It's not a ton, but it should be enough. Packed house. Packed house in the bleachers, the rafters. All the seats are taken. Pretty much standing room only.
Good shot. When you're watching this, you will notice just how still he stays. That head doesn't even shimmy at all on a big power delivery like that. That's where most of us falter. And it really hampers accuracy because when the head wiggles a little bit, it distorts the tip fractionally, and then the long shot with the power is amplified on the volume of squirt. And it's a conundrum. It's very hard to do, and a lot of times people think they stay still, but they don't. And then when they see the video, they say, oh my goodness, I didn't realize. But even the most subtle flicker is all it takes to miss.
Touchy little shot, stunning past the side here with a little check. Nice shot. Well, talked about yesterday him going through the ball no matter what, right? It's kind of the same thing, I think, with that body. No matter what, he's going to stay, that steel box. That doesn't come with just a thought, right? That comes with a lot of reps, making sure that body stays still.
Even that shot, they just trickle the cue ball 6 inches ahead from that range with that to make this real simple. And this was clearly the rack of the match. After 3 racks, you really saw something. He had to open up with that 1 ball. Super tough, delicate shot, easily missable. Down in the corner, right? And then didn't he have to make the ball on the side?
The one in the side. The one in the side,
okay,
actually.
Yeah, okay, one in the side. But just every part of that, there was all missable. And then there at the end, like you said, what's he going to do? And I said, maybe just settle for stunning off the side rail and take the longer shot. But that's world-class pool, and under the heat, too, because Josh is not missing a ball. Both players are right at 9:30 here on their TPA.
Yeah, and it's, it's funny. You got 16 great players in this event, like always. But there are some that are a little separated in the 16. These 2 are definitely on the top of that separation.
Yes.
But, it's like no matter what it was, you feel like Federer's going to respond in Game 3 after the first 2 games get away. And you got to love the aggression on the 1, not really passing it at all. Never really looking at the safety that was really easy. It's just a little different mentality, I think. And And it's no surprise it just keeps happening with these two guys.
You get so few innings with these guys because you're going to have games like this where Josh is probably, the favorite to run out. It's not easy, and he may not, but I'm just saying there's going to be not that many innings. This is why a lot of people say, I play better against better players. Well, maybe you concentrate harder, but the other part of it is you don't get a chance to look as bad as you are either because the guy runs out often. So sometimes that's not entirely true, and then when you play somebody bad, you do get exposed that you're not that good either. And we also saw a match like that on this very table where both players played in the 700s.
Yeah, we had 2 matches. I like that, actually. Little funny. I think he can draw off the 7 if he wanted to. Josh, a lot of times, will just try to accept the 4 in the corner, even if he had to go forward. Oh, he didn't even have to move the 7.
Okay, so that was a little bit easier to negotiate than we thought. It still took a good shot, and he hit that so smooth and so effortless. That's a testimonial to great cueing. He really is hitting the very bottom of the cue ball to get that action with that speed.
Yeah, and, remember not you, Mark, of course, but everyone else out there, that it's a little bit of a fooler when we talk about a smooth swing, because just pay attention, and I'll bring one up, but it fools you because the transition is so clean that you don't see, you'll never see the acceleration on the downswing, right? So we just see those end parts, the start of the backswing, the start of the transition, and that's why it's called effortless, because we never see the speed as a spectator. But don't worry, there's tons of speed by the time they get that tip to the ball.
Right. It's just not reached right at the moment they transition.
No, it's accumulated, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the key. You have to get in there, really glide through there just like a child on a swing set, just floating. You never see a jerk direction.
Well, there's 2 things that really tells you about the power, and one is the cue ball movement that moves so much, right? Even though it's not loud, even though it's not screaming around the table, it goes a long ways. But the other one you can always pay attention to, and like I said, I'll bring up a shot that really shows you, is how much pace is on the object ball. It's not dribbling to the hole when these guys have that smooth swing. It's got plenty of pace. So that shows you how they're accelerating down their impact.
Very nice breaking run out there. Reclaim a 2-game lead, 3-1. And what Jeremy just pick up, your object ball goes further. The cue ball for sure goes further.
Throw works better. Everything is better. Less deflection because, when you go through the ball accelerating, that's always going to be quieter as far as pressure than somebody that kind of hits the ball at impact. You're always going to, have a little more hand involved, let's say, and which, if you're on the right side of the ball, is going to cause a little more push. They always talk about cues deflecting, right? And I always tell people we should really discuss strokes causing too much deflection much more than cues.
Right. Much like a miscue. You look at your tip when you should look at your elbow. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right. We got Eric and Chastity Lacey and Poplar Bluff tuned in. That's pretty cool. And Eric's a great player.
Yeah. Gotta love this. All those friends in that group watching this, all the players around.
I know.
A lot of pros watching. Throwing big blows here early on day 4, these 2.
Monday afternoon, I guess nobody works because this capacity crowd.
Sounds like many of your friends don't work anyways.
No, they don't. Got away. That was dangerous.
Yeah, a little miss hit on the 1. That's why you saw not near as much movement.
Right. Tim Myers tuned in, Port St. Lucie. He doesn't work. And Jeremy's on his way down there. You better get a lesson.
Yeah, I haven't been to Port St. Lucie in such a long time. I used to be there. What's the kid's name that his dad owned the pool room? He was a good player. He used to come play the Derby. I'll think of his name in a minute. Nate, maybe.
Well, here's the deal. If you get down to Port St. Lucie, Tim Myers will take a 1-pocket lesson for sure. I'll pay for it if he doesn't because he needs it. And he's my competition, and I do usually win enough that I could afford to pay you for a lesson. Help him out a little bit.
Well, that 1 pocket, right?
Yeah.
The best lesson you can get is somebody to help you mold your mind a little bit. Because 1 pocket, once you start to have your mind a little there, it's not that hard as far as picking out shots.
Dangerous shot here. Look at how pure he hit that. To just from that range to hold enough backspin to kill the cue ball and then move the 1 to the other end with control past the 7. That is a tough shot. That's as hard as shooting any kind of long straight in shot. And he made it just look like, well, that's the way the balls naturally go, but they don't. Does Josh have to kick? Or can he see
I think he can
it?
bring it back down where it's kind of similar, bringing the 1 by the 7. I think. Oh, he didn't have as much of the 1 as I thought.
Pretty good result.
And definitely what he was playing, by the way. He may not have gotten the snooker, but he was going to make him cut the ball down the rail. He was trying to use the 8 to hold the cue ball. Definitely by design.
Now you got me in trouble. One of our listeners is working. He's hanging drywall, Jeremy. So some of our viewers listen.
Some of our viewers work.
Yeah.
Listen while they work, it sounds like. Whistle while you work. Yeah, you can draw this one pretty good between the 6-8 if you want. Got to kind of let it take a little bit from this angle. Like that.
Now this was an interesting shot. He chose and properly low right to check it up so he comes flatter into the back of the ball to create this backward angle. If you go topspin and maybe even a hint of left, or maybe just topspin, the cue ball wants to go down table with the 1.
Yeah, and from when you're further behind it like that, the key to that is really give it time to take. When you're a little more head on, you use the topspin and it kind of takes automatically. But when you're behind it, oh man, these guys are really grinding. Great effort there, trying to get, something somewhat passive, but keep him off the run out if possible. Now, a couple shots, FEDOR getting down on the ball a little quick, and not saying he's rushing it, but normally he'll walk around a little bit to look at things. So I guess it was right in front of him. But you talked about the long distance shot that he just shot on the 1, right, FEDOR?
Yep.
That little short one right there is touchy. Because if you give up on the stroke, it all gets real ugly, that kind of shot.
And you're required to control the ball speed of the cue ball and the object ball.
Exactly.
And that's not easy. If you miss-hit it a millimeter, it's radically different.
And that's the hard part about the shot, because you have to control the object ball speed while keeping the draw on the ball. So.
And left a window.
Yeah,
he's saddened. He hit it good, but didn't work out. So Josh's going to have to play for the 3-9 combo here. That won't be fun. Now he's looking at the 3-10. What if I tried to play the 3 off the 5? No good.
Yeah, maybe a two-way 3-9 kiss shot while playing the 10. But the good thing, he'll track down there like, you always mention, you get down there close, you can evaluate from there, right? If you don't like it, he's got the 5-10, 9-7 to try and play some safety.
I truly think there's not enough value in trying to run out here. I think he should play for a safety. Now, he's a shooter, and he may well prove me wrong, but for mere mortals, running out from here does not happen very often.
Well, the key is just don't force whatever you're doing, you know what I mean? And then you can make a nice decision. I don't know what he's going to do here.
Well, it's 14 inches apart, 3 to the 10. He's off angle on the 3. The 9 doesn't go if you hit it. So controlling the 3, openings, no. I think he's going to play safe.
I think the safe got a little awkward, Mark. That's what he's kind of looking at as well. May just play a real bump safety here, trying to use the 10. Yeah.
Good call. Yeah, great execution, too.
Yeah, and that's real smart. Of course, he wanted to maybe, with balls there, get a little tougher kick. Not saying this is easy. But good to just say, hey, let me keep it simple. There really wasn't anything there.
You have to fight to minimize unforced errors, and that's a great example there, rather than just rattling the balls around and hoping it comes out.
Surprised he's not going 2 rails here by the 5. The 1 railer doesn't give you a lot. Is he coming 3 behind it?
Well, you can scratch with this. You can make the 3 with this, but you're not getting separation with this. That's probably the biggest issue.
Yeah, the separation part. You either make the 3 or you overcut the 3 and don't do much either. So solid hit, though. I think that's the one thing that FEDOR in this tournament, he would have liked to have kicked better overall. He's He's missed a few. Just banging it around, or clipping it. Okay. That's where the 3 was earlier.
Yeah, right back.
This combo lays pretty good, though.
It does, and it might even allow you to billiard into the 10 here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you can get shape. I guess you're not going to draw it usually unless it lays real nice, right? From this distance. I mean, it's got to lay real nice to draw it,
Yeah.
you know, for shape, 1 rail over. You know, he can do it.
We're still 4 or 5 inches apart, and it's not perfectly on. It's close to on.
Yeah, you want to hit this with a high ball, as Mark said, going into the 10. Now, if you hit it, all right, he's going to try and draw or stun, create speed, trying to get shape on the 3.
Okay, players, if you have a table assignment and it looks like it's going to be a while, I do have tables downstairs.
Well, I'm not going to second guess. Didn't even get shape. You hate to take a gambling shot and not get position. If you're going to gamble, you got to gamble to win.
Yeah, he just didn't hit it. You know, if he hits it to the pocket, I think it looks a little different. But keeping it simple, 3 underneath the 5-10. Didn't quite get there. Maybe the cue ball.
Just got there perfect.
I'll tell you, again, just those ones that come ever so often, those Rodney Morris's, Earls and stuff, they play those safeties with that speed and that talent to just float behind the ball. I used to just sit behind Rodney now. He was the most fun player to watch run out. But when he would play a safety, it would be one you didn't see all the time just because of the talent. And I'd sit behind him just to see him play safe every 6 or 7 racks, you know.
I was always amused that he couldn't run out when he had an open layout, that he'd have to make 3 trick shots. And if you give him a good layout, he doesn't get out. But if he has to make some hard shots, Rodney can get out every time.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you ever played out in the middle of that Pacific, it is quite different, I'll tell you. I've been there a few times. You can go 4 short with the cue ball, you know, before the side, even crossing half the table.
When Rodney and I will be doing a clinic together, I do not allow him to do the position play exercise. Shot making, he's your man.
All right, nice play here, FEDOR.
Man, this is a world-class pool. The way these guys are turning these balls around and leaving tough shots and getting over balls, under balls, behind balls. And it just looks so natural. But meanwhile, you have to dedicate your entire being to be able to execute like this.
Yeah, and, you know, the difference, I think, sometimes, you know, even in this tournament with all the great 16 players, there's players that'll maybe stress against a guy like FILLER, where we're seeing 2 guys that are so close, and I don't know the mentalities, how I'm trying to explain this is they're just still playing the shot, you know, and you know, right there, FEDOR kicked to where, all right, maybe I don't get the snooker, but I'm going to make him come with a shot. Where other people might say, man, FILLER's going to make that. I got to do something else. You know, I can't just make, you know, you understand what I'm trying to get at?
The right shot's the right shot,
Exactly.
irrespective of who you're playing. But many players, maybe even myself included, maybe plays down to the talent level, and you can't turn it up when you get here. So you have to play this every practice ball and every match if you want to be able to perform like this.
Yeah, good point. Well, don't see much like that from FEDOR, so he really must not have liked the situation.
He was in a real bad spot.
Yeah.
Didn't really very little worse for wear, though. He didn't get the ultimate punishment here. 3-1 behind. He's fighting so hard to get a chance. We saw what he can do if he gets an offensive opportunity.
Well, there are a couple things, you know. The shot on the 310, a little off there. Of course, this is a lot of speed. Is he going to be right on the 9?
Man, good shot.
But then the shot just a second ago, the one that makes me feel like there's a little tension there with FEDOR at the moment is the second break. He was already breaking them pretty firm, but the second break he had where he missed the rack a little bit, he really unloaded there. Like there's a little something going on. Nothing bad, but just like he wants it really bad. Maybe that banner you were talking about, this is the only one eluding him at the moment. All right, 3 into the 5 and run the cue ball. Oh, he hit it thin, so a little off from what we usually see. Ooh.
Oh, look at that. I think he got him hooked.
Yes, he does.
Wow.
If they're 4 1/4, that's definitely hooked.
He's smiling, but truly, balls hang up too. So it's not just a good fortune. Sometimes things you hit pretty well hang up like this too. So it goes both ways.
The 3-rail kick lays nice. I expect Filler to hit his mark. At least send the 3-up table. Now, he does need to put a little speed coming behind this. Easy to not get a rail on this 10-footer.
Right before the match, he kicked this in. I watched him practicing. Oh, a solid try. All right. Well, Gorst has earned an offensive opportunity now.
Yeah. A few claps, too. Of course, Gorst, huge favorite here, or fan favorite here.
I mean, even
in
the
America.
upper deck is full. It's Monday afternoon.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Me and you have the last 2 seats available.
Now, can you for sure get above it, or do you kind of pinch it and play for the 4 1/4 with a little angle? Because if you don't get above it, could be kind of tough to get back on that 5.
I think the issue was if he tries to get above it, he bumps the 10. Because the draw doesn't take soon enough. So he kind of had to settle for this, and now he's super straight, super flat. I don't know that he can cheat the pocket. Looks like he might be able to.
He's going to be a hair thin on the 5 no matter what. Oh, he's got to go forward.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't have the capacity to cheat the pocket. So now coming around the table, you'll see.
Between the 8 and 9 from this angle off a full hit.
High velocity shot.
Yeah, it doesn't agree a whole lot with getting around the table.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Edging this. He's a little off at the moment, Mark, and I'm not sure exactly why. I watched the last few shots of his banks from some distance, and he hit them perfect. Took a little time between this match. That's why we were a little off with our time as well.
He probably needed to take a little more care on that shot. Be a little more conservative.
Well, the reason I don't mind the shot or not getting position, right? But you could see a little more frustration, him not getting that position on the 4, and it almost carried into that 5 ball when he ended up short. He did, and that's what I said a few shots ago. He usually goes and walks around, no matter the shot, right?
He was a little hasty on edging that one, and against Filler, you cannot leave him, even though he did hang this ball, you cannot leave him looks like that. He's just too tough. Now, this is just as tough as when FEDOR hooked him, okay? Now, even though this ball's hanging, this play's brutally tough here to do anything with.
The toughest masse when you're having to go towards the rail. You hit the rail, you're done.
This one has a win attached, and you won't scratch. Oh, my goodness, what a shot. Don't scratch him on this. Okay, that's fair. Great shot there.
Yeah, really good. Be good for FEDOR here. Of course, had a few rolls, you would say, in this game number 5, is it? To get it on the board after a couple of mistakes.
He's going to have to go very near the corner pocket. I don't think he can do anything fancy here, and it's just try to get the cue ball near the center of the table from this.
Can he add a little right?
That's what I'm thinking. It's kind of wrap the corner, but you don't have much room.
He's down on the ball, so he's not doing that. Yeah, he's definitely off a little bit at the moment.
Well, inside spin draw, that's what I'm saying. I think
outside, that was outside actually. Like a check outside, you know what I'm saying? Like force it and then let it release just a little bit. But inside, outside, there's a little something going on with FEDOR.
Well, with outside, players tend to be much more effective. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, but we use outside on that type of shot 90% of the time. We only use inside every once in a while, so you're never as well versed. They squirt the same rate, but it's just not it's a comfort thing, familiarity thing. That was a big turnaround there after FEDOR kind of earned his way back in there with that great masse. Right now, things are setting up Filler's way here. Just over 900 on his TPA. Now has a 4-1 lead. But we've seen a lot of good play, a lot of good decisions, a lot of good execution with the safeties. The billiard side of pocket billiards. We're seeing that.
Yeah, and FEDOR had a break and run. The other break wasn't so good. So just a few things early, but just it seems like a little something going on mentally at the moment to me. And, you know, in just a handful of games, we've seen a lot of little odd things is all.
Just the fitness level to hang 4 days here playing bank pool, one pocket, and 10 ball on a 10-foot table and switching back and forth against upper-tier players.
Well, just imagine if you just can't sleep one night for these guys as well as you're
Right.
used to. Just one night, you know, at the Derby can really throw you off a little bit.
You and I are both tired at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Let alone down there performing at this level.
Yeah, these balls are going long all of a sudden, these side pocket balls. So a couple things giving him a chance now to get settled in. Got a cupcake on the 1, the 2, and the 3 near. 4, 5, 6, 7 near each other, even though definitely some work. But even here, I'm not saying he shouldn't go look at something, but he just usually does to get to where he's not going to always try to play perfect, but he wants to look at what the premium is for position, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, you have to be thinking about the 7 ball, you know, even now, so how you intend to get that. I think it goes past the 10 in the corner pocket.
I think the 7-9 is pretty much a hanger as well.
And maybe you'll have to play the combination.
A little thinner, but I think he can draw, not contact the 7. I think, anyways. Looks like he could probably go forward too and buy the 10 with a little left English, but draw's definitely the shot. Better swing there, huh?
No, smooth and nice. Got through the ball, stayed still. He could have played for my Lindenwood Lions with his form.
Definitely playing for the combination, it looks like, on the 7. Got a little thin, though. Not much.
One year, Allison Fisher and I were coach of the Atlantic Challenge Cup, which was like the junior Moscone Cup team. And the Europe's team had FEDOR GORST and Victor Zelensky. And I had a couple kids that played APA regionals somewhere on a bar table. And we got just smoked. Oh, my goodness. I had to laugh. There's Gorst. He was being in consideration for the European Moscone Cup team that year.
Right.
Clean.
And much more of dead aim, right? Like really got tuned in on that one. And that was delicate. You know, if he babies the stroke a little bit, it comes a little more straight across. Overhits it a little bit, could come more straight across. It's just perfect, really.
Real clean combination there, very controlled. There he goes and looks.
Yeah, that little work, you know, because, you know, one thing when I teach, you know, I really stress being able to rely on things. You want to work on things so you can rely on them, you know. And FEDOR, he relies on his routine. You know, he knows it's a tough shot sometimes. He knows it's, you know, maybe heel or whatever, but he goes through his routine and then swings the cue. You know, you want to be able to rely on aiming. You know, you want to be able to rely on your bridge. You know what I mean? Those things, you know.
No, it's great. It's a game of details. And like
Yeah.
what you teach, I'm sure it triggers things in people's mind of, hey, man, Jeremy's talking about this, and he's an old-time pro, and then here I am. I'm just general.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean,
no, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you can see it if you ever watch FEDOR. He really weighs on his routine and not trying to play slow. He just wants to get the keep you in the moment. Let's keep it simple. That's what a routine does. It dilutes you seeing that you're in the Moscone a little bit. You're never going to forget you're in the Moscone. But if you can make it go away just a little bit, that's going to help. And that's what a routine does. And I just feel like he's been a little out of that routine so far in this match. I love this as well. Taking a little more time. And I think he's trying to fight himself into that routine also. Like, he's a little conscious of it.
Right. A lot of people think this ball isn't missable, and they think Big Time Pro just knocks it in. No, they better double check and triple check. This is a 3-foot putt here. You got to make them. Great out there. Got a little momentum back, 4-2 behind. Gorst plays with a Q-Tech, I believe. Is that right, Jeremy? Do you know?
No, he switched.
Oh, he
Long
switched.
time Q-Tech.
Okay.
He switched at the beginning, towards the end of November-ish, somewhere around there.
He's calling a timeout.
Great call, in my opinion.
All right, here we are,
Yeah.
back to action. 4-2, Gorst is breaking, come back off his break. Like to be productive, keep the momentum going now. He just ran a nice rack of 10 ball.
Yeah, I think the timeout as much as the nice rack.
4 ball tracking, no.
All those side pocket balls all of a sudden are going long, and quite a bit long. Not catching the point really.
Do you think it's the cloth wear that's getting broke in, or do you think it's the power that he should change the power, or they're just not hitting him square enough?
I don't know. I watched Filler really with a lot of power and several breaks. He hit him square, but making both those side balls with the one over the corner. His first break, they did the same, a little long. So I don't know.
And it's not like these guys don't practice the 10 ball break all the time either. You know, they pour in the hours on the 10 and 9 ball breaks. So
they've practiced more 10 ball break hours than most people have practiced pool in their life.
yeah.
All these players.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just because you have no chance in the 10 ball tournament, especially with the template, unless you do have a developed break. It doesn't have to be the top 10 break in the world, but it has to be pretty good. A little light on the push out here. He's going to bank the 1 back down, right? He can beat hitting the 3 and just kill the cue ball. He's got the 2, 5, 8, 10, all that.
Well, sometimes, younger guys, Josh, who has that super firepower, is a little lackadaisical on his push-outs.
Or he didn't even put him on the rail with the cue ball.
That's what I mean.
If you're going to leave this shot, you got to put him on the rail. Yeah, that's just too easy with no jump cues, right? I mean, that's
right. And Gorst smartly didn't work to make sure the cue ball gets all the way down. You don't need, or the 1 ball gets all the way down. You don't need to do that. Just take care of the cue ball. Just make that your priority.
Yeah, and he didn't try to come up on the 2. I think that's real smart, especially struggling a hair at the moment, right? So simplify the shot. You got a ton of cover.
Now, if Josh
that's
tagged,
another reason. I'm sorry, Mark. That's another reason why the push out was so light to me. If Filler should feel that FEDOR there's a little something going on with FEDOR at the moment.
I just wanted
to look at this, a combo.
That's what I wanted to say. If he was going to make the 10, it could go twice, not once. But if he tags it square, the 10 ball does play 2 cushions. Now, Gorst has a chance to billiard the 10 or play the combination or just play safe.
Yeah, I don't think the combo's on offer, really, not lefty. I think you just got to tickle the 1 up. You're going to leave the 1, but not a shot on the 1, and take a chance at making this billiard. The only problem is you may leave some type of clip on the 1 to get back at the 10 if you hang it.
Well, I think you got to use a little pace because you don't want to hang the 10 no matter what.
I know that.
Because even if the 1 gets up. So that makes the accuracy on the billiard and the pocket less forgiving on the billiard. But it also gives you a chance to not sell out an easy combination bank.
Just imagine this, though. You put more pace, right? You could hit it well and hang easy also. So there's a few different things going on here.
True that.
I think I would give it its best effort to make, trying to get the 1 up, whatever that speed is.
Just go all out to make
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he wanted to get the 1 up a little more. Fortunate he did jack him up, so maybe the 1 ball not so playable. I think he had to shoot at that, though. I mean, you're going to make it 70%, I think.
You got to take your punches when you get them. When there's an opening, you're not going to get that many from this guy. So now, can he thin the cue ball off the 1 and play the billiard on the 10? We know it's safe, but it's mainly a safe.
He can, but that's the problem in the shot. I don't think he can get the 1 really that safe. And again, you could hang the 10, leaving some return play. Like there, if he hangs the 10, right, bumps it over, could leave something pretty good for FEDOR. Now, pretty good cross-side bank for FEDOR. If he felt like he could get easy position, he just doesn't. I don't think position is that easy.
No.
Besides just stunning forward in between the 9-7.
Well, it's not a straight-on bank. He has to cut it. I think that's part of the problem. I don't think you can just rifle this in straight.
Well, it's past the middle diamond. He's below the pocket line, so I feel like he doesn't have to cut it much. He's going to duck, though, on the 9.
Oh, okay.
You see, he made it go right, the cue ball, and it still spread pretty far.
That's what I meant. It
Yeah.
wasn't just dead on. I mean, he could have maybe shortened it up if he would have walloped it, but you hate to use that type of velocity and maybe not even get position. This is superior here.
Yeah, really good. This is going to, can't tie anything up. He's welded to the 9, can't get at the 7. He's going to have to show us one here, a little trick shot. Maybe because he can get at the right side of the cue ball a little bit. Maybe one rail between the 8 and 9. That's the only thing I really see. Try and bend the ball back a little bit because you can get at the right part of the cue ball. And he's left-handed, so he can reach it somewhat.
Here's how good of a safe it is. You can't even take an intentional foul, do something productive.
Exactly,
You know, I mean, he's going to try to warp this back.
Yeah, between the 8 and 9.
Low right.
Wow, too much.
That's how hard it was.
Oh,
You
for sure.
manufacture something there that wasn't even there. Great job. Getting that cue ball on the 9 as opposed to almost near the 9, or just blocking, that changes that quite a bit.
Yeah, and I thought it was just good to hold behind the 9, being a little elevated, a little awkward. You know, the 1 was about 7 or 8 inches from the 9, so he had to stun lightly and got the most out of it for sure. All right, didn't take it for granted there, even with ball in hand. When it looked where he wanted on the 2, he'll play from just a little above. Sets up nice. The 4's a little bit of an issue, but the 5's right across the side. So not an issue, but, you know, a little work, let's say. He'll come across one rail probably just a little below the head spot, 6 or 8 inches. Could use 2 rails, I guess.
This is that not effective backspin, but just below center to kind of stun and bring the cue ball back. Or is he going forward?
No. He
Back.
fools you because
Okay.
he drops the tip, you know. So,
Might have dropped it too much.
Uh-oh. And that's why
Eesh.
the stun on those, right?
Yeah.
And it's all different strokes. We're just talking. I'm not calling anything wrong or right? But when I shoot the 2 to get to the 3, I like to get to where I'm a little more above and I roll it with a little left. And then my touch is always really good. I'm never near it.
Yeah.
Anytime you have to stun, you miss a little bit on position sometimes.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Here it is. The best in the world. Just stunned one and got a little bit of funny here. Just got to try to stop it. Not an easy shot. Cost him a miss.
Yeah, the timing's off a little bit for FEDOR at the moment.
That's
And not just because of that. The shot prior shows that the timing's off a little bit. Him getting the cue ball by that 6. Gotta come across. Oh, he can hold it. Oh, but he overcut it a little, so it leaked a little more.
yeah, he overcut it quite a bit.
Yeah, now does he pinch this with a little more stroke to draw, you know, on the good side of the side pocket here? I think he does.
Yeah, he's queuing up as if he can bend it plenty out of the 7. Yep, no problem. Yeah, that was a pretty big error in this match here. He's 4-2 behind and running out. And then when he got over the 6 and then the miss and then now Filler regains the momentum and kind of negates that last high-quality run from a dry break that Gorst got.
And we've talked about this all week, those little characteristics that we talk about with some other players, really kind of showing, peeking its head here with FEDOR. Like stressing, right? It looks like he's stressing a little more to me than he normally does, you know, from shot to shot. So he can pinch this, can he, and just hold for the side?
That's what I would think. He just stunned it over an inch or 2. Yeah. Yeah, he's looking at it like, no problem.
Yeah, the 10's right there.
Exactly. You stop your ball, you'll be fine.
that with the pink bandana on down there?
That's
Or
Carol.
not bandana. I know it's Carol. I
That's
know.
our girl
I know.
right there. Her and I go back to Haight Ashbury in San Francisco during the 60s.
Really?
No.
No, I was about to say.
We're of that age. They could have
well,
gone.
I mean, it could have, you know.
Hey, if you remember the 60s, you weren't there. Yeah,
Oh,
just so you know.
Well, I don't remember the 60s. I was a couple years after that. But.
The winner of that will face the winner of this in the championship tonight.
What a great
at 9
crew
o'clock.
AccuStats has. There's Mike on the boom camera. We got John Baker on the shot clock, the most tedious job ever. Dorothy on camera 3. Jeremy, expert analysis. Pat Fleming behind the scenes, making all the switches to various cameras, replays, and graphics packages. Chris Renfro. Marlon Glodek. Julian Robertson, floor director. Bounty hunter. All right, here we go. 5-2. Filler breaking. 7 and 8 right behind. Let's see what happens. 7 short.
8 long.
8 long.
Yeah.
6 ball. Did find the mark finally. So we got a random trickler all the way down.
Yeah, he'll take on the kick here. No doubt about it. And the break so far has made this match where the guys aren't getting their total rhythm in, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been a little bit scrappy. Hasn't just been fast break offense.
Yeah, you want to stay away from much left on this one. It's not necessary. And when you have these types of kick and sticks, when you cannot apply side or not much, that's what you want. Ooh, he cut it too much. He's going to be okay because the 7 maybe, but.
You play a lot of matches like this. Even if you break well, sometimes you just don't get a shot at the lowest number ball, and that can happen on and on and on for quite a number of racks. And this is why when you practice, sometimes when you practice Scotch doubles, it perpetually keeps you out of rhythm, and a lot of times you're playing for different slight positions than you would have played for yourself. And so it sort of tests you. And it's kind of a good training strategy to do that sometimes.
Well, tough kick here. 2 rails is what he's looking at.
Well, he can hit the one straight on, can he? I mean, maybe not
I thought
full enough to hit it
I
where
thought he
wants
was
to.
snookered.
Okay, well, perhaps so.
Yeah, he was, I think, considering the curve, just because it is so slight, but can't get a lot of speed on it, so very difficult to really get, that end of the table besides the 5, 9, 10 is pretty open, right? So.
Oh, this 2-rail kick you can miss, by 6 inches. This is hard to judge.
He needs a little left the way he's aiming. Yeah, nice hit. Unfortunate there.
Yeah.
But that ball in the center of the table, it's almost like when they play golf on a snooker table and they put that hickey ball in the center. You know what I mean? It's amazing that ball in the center of the table, how many little things it brings up in the game. Snookers, scratches, a ton of stuff.
Good job to kick and hit it, but unfortunately that was part of the shot too, is that you can scratch if you lightly hit it.
Yeah, that's the problem with that center, just like the spot. You can hit it actually more than just one way and still have the same result. All right, going to the rail here. Okay, we've had some type of dilemma every rack, it seems, which is awesome to me. I always love it when they lay tough. Anything you like on the 5 or to get to the 5?
Scared to death of the 5.
It definitely goes in the side by the 9. Goes in the other side pocket as well. May have to stun draw this. I don't know if he can hit a high left and get all the way there going by the 7. He's looking at the kind of short side on the 5 for the corner. That's touchy as well.
Right. You hate to try to bang into the 9 from here because you really, one, it's hard to get, but even if you do get it, you're not assured of a shot. So
Yeah,
he's
this
looking
is
at getting down there where he can protect himself, maybe play a pre-planned safety if need be.
And I think technique makes a difference. Like I can see Efren hitting a high left and getting to the short side on the 5 going by the 7 here for the 5 in that side pocket. I can see Efren doing that, but certain techniques, like he's stunned to do it a little more, a little less English.
And smoothly fell into position there with control. Great shot. Yeah.
Yeah, that light stun, that's why it's so important to have because it really releases. And you get a lot of movement out of the cue ball.
That was deceptively one of the most artistic shots of the match right there. Get that 2 rails. That was not. That was manufactured as opposed to natural.
All right, just a little high ball. He'll aim down a little bit. Unless he's planning to come back and then 3 rail off the 8, he may be doing that. A little light stun again. I guess he can draw here easily.
He's about an inch from where he wanted to be. He kind of twists his head to the side as if to say, I'm a little bit off.
Yeah, 5-2, and now about to cross that halfway point at 6-2. FEDOR has no more timeouts left, so he's got to break the balls good here in the next and get some things going.
Filler over the halfway point.
Filler playing the 904 clip. Gorst down at 806.
Lowest TPA I recall ever seeing for Gorst, really. At least this far in the match, right? So.
And, you know, the other thing, he has not played poorly, but just a couple things kind of slipped away. It wasn't like he's just missed open ball after open ball or anything. Hasn't been an ugly match. He just hadn't been able to get untracked.
There's the side pocket balls. And like I didn't see FEDOR practice today on the break, but I've seen him do it plenty, and he's been making those balls quite often this week. And FILLER made him a lot warming up before this match. I really don't see the difference now. That was it his second break that he had to miss it on the one a little bit, but other than that, he's kind of broke them the same, just not getting the results. A little in between here, Mark. Is it easy to float this in and hold, or do you need to apply a little something to not have any worries getting on this 3? I think it's okay, right?
I think he's just going natural high ball.
Yeah. I just didn't know how thin it was, if it's any worry at all. Looks like it's okay.
First shot after the break, getting that ball down, that really helps.
Yeah,
he did something much more. I don't know about that.
Well, he hit it a little thick to the pocket, so I'm trying to figure the line he was attempting anyways.
He hit the 6 into, and then the cue ball hit the 10 to stop, but I didn't think he wanted to get into that clutter at all. But I think that pace, he felt more confident about pocketing the ball and just didn't want to miss that ball, so maybe that's why he chose the pace, because that line going into the clutter was always there.
Yeah, that's what it seemed, and another sign of something a hair off for him, because normally he's going to play for the position there and accept how he has to hit it to gain that position. On a shot like that, I mean, you know, there are some shots you just got to let it go and see what happens, because the shot is so demanding one way or another.
Okay, good shot. Now he's back out in the center of the table where he needs to be. He's laboring hard, for sure.
I think this is tight. I don't think he has the entire pocket here. I know he's gotten really nice shape, but it's the kind of shot he's fallen away a hair. So it's not the one you want to fire in with a lot of stun and go to the rail for a small pocket. It's not the one you want to hit super light. So we'll see. Maybe a rolling ball. Oh, nice shot.
Yeah, when he was down looking at that shot just to get the exact line, I knew he was slightly impeded with the 7, because he normally wouldn't have to labor that hard.
All right, come straight at the 9, taking that little angle to come off the 9, a couple 2-3 rails to get on the 10. No reason to force, I don't think, trying to get, a little above it or a little better, like ball in hand position. Just accept what the 8 gives you. I think 1 rail straight at the 9. Yeah, like that.
You get right that in-between angle here. You got to muscle up here one way or the other.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
if you
absolutely.
Want this, you're going to have to really.
Well, the thing, what Mark's saying is they're doable, but both ways, whichever way he elects, he has to hit well.
And hard.
And he can't just, roll off the ball so much,
Sometimes we refer to that as a flat angle.
Mm-hmm.
High quality run out there, much needed. Used to be I'd come to these tournaments and every year just be astounded at how the game was elevated. And then I'd say, well, it just can't get any better than this. This was the greatest ever. And I really did believe that and felt that. And then next year I ended up having to say it again. Well, it's better, but it can't get any better than this. So I don't say that anymore. Probably for 10 years I did it wrong. Here's our look at our TPAs right here. Gorst has 39 balls pocketed, Filler 48. Gorst 7 airs, 5 airs. My goodness, a 10-foot table, 4 1/4 inch pockets, 7 airs can happen in one rack for an amateur or average player. And here he's not really doing that good with 7 airs.
Yeah, I think the first game he won, he had like 4 of those errors right there. I mentioned it that he was pretty fortunate. Remember the corner hook in that rack, the same rack. He went around and corner hooked him, and then he got another snooker after that, after a mistake.
Oh, is this a dry break here? It
Yeah.
is. Okay.
This table's breaking tough.
Now, this is a little bit awkward combination because that one's so close to the 7. Sometimes you get cling, and sometimes they come apart free.
I think it's playable, though.
Oh, yeah, I think he has to play it. I'm just saying that sometimes you can end up, if it's this little heavy angle when you cut across there.
Yeah, you never want to throw the ball towards that second ball when they're close. It will always act like a skid and pull, and the reason why is it'll always slide first before it starts to roll.
Yeah.
And anytime it's going to slide, it's going to grab a hair more. So there's just not enough space for the roll to,
So
have time to start rolling.
Are you saying that he has to overcut this slightly to get the hit the
No,
middle of the pocket?
not
Well, I think you have to cut him a little bit thinner.
Well, that's the safe side. I mean, I don't think it has to happen, but yeah, you want to go a little thin on it for sure.
Now the 2 and the 8 are tangled up. Does he try to play the billiard on the 4 and maneuver the 1 ball by the pocket so he can do something with the 2? You see what I'm saying? Just cutting the 1
I
in
like
is
the
no
billiard
good.
myself.
Okay.
Because it lays the 1 up to where you can manufacture something on the 2 a little easier if you don't want to play the combination.
And it may be because the cue ball's high, it might not lay the 1 up. You might have to make that angle.
You mean make the 1? Or
no, I mean you're going to have to. Maybe you have to hit the 1 heavier than you want to. That it doesn't lay up by the pocket.
I see. No, well, you got to hit it delicate. That's for sure, and that's
because
the
cue
testy
ball's
side
on this side of
exactly,
it. See? So it's not that easy to control that secondary object ball.
For sure. Might could make them both. He's going to play the combo. That's fine. He may tear open the 8 or 2 here as well. Coming 2 rails, maybe 3.
Got to hit this pure so the 1 stays there. Overcut it. Yeah.
He did move
the idea 2. Was great. The idea was great. Ooh. Oh, man, I don't want to look at this.
He's got to duck here. He's got to come off the left side, banking the 1 across, and float the cue ball down below the 9. Not have to, don't get me wrong, but I feel like that's the right shot at the moment. It's hard not to want to shoot this.
Yeah, I think he's gonna just float it down there and let the cue ball come over here behind the 5 and try to use the clutter if something goes awry.
You mean if he misses?
Yes.
Well, if he tries that
super
speed,
tough.
the chance I'm making the 1 is like 10%.
Well, then
I think he's going back and forth. Yeah.
Well, he's just going all out.
Yeah, I like that if you're going to shoot.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, beauty.
Golly.
Beauty.
Got that in like it was a 7-foot Valley bar table. I mean, just no problem.
Really released the cue there.
Yeah. throw the cue? Would you say, did he throw the cue a little
Well,
bit?
he's done it before,
Yeah.
for sure. And now he'll never do it on draw. There's occasional players that do it on draw. It's almost always with the ones that don't do it all the time. It's high ball or stun. It's never the draw stroke. There's some players that do draw also, actually.
It did look like he just let it go.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So,
And he didn't try to, just like most players that have that technique. We never tried to learn that technique. It's just a loose hand, and you keep accelerating the cue, and it just develops. I played 5 years before I knew I threw the cue.
what a good shot to come back
yeah.
from, too.
Yeah, starting to build a little momentum at a much-needed time. Big game here. Cut it to 6-4 and FEDOR breaking in the next. And we talk about a lot of times there's two halves of these matches, right? And that's why you got to stay confident and patient. Trying to go back and forth on top of the 5. It's got to go a little bit.
His speed's a little bit short.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't want to call it a decel, but it wasn't like the other one where he really just released the cue, you know, a lot of confidence. But still, these working outs like this, the starter on the 1, another big one here on the 5. They can do a whole lot.
A real test of mental toughness to get through racks like this, too. You got to be a tremendously complete player to do them.
All right, if he gives up on this at all, very easy to miss.
I think he's going 2 rails rather than just 1.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Nope, 1. Oh, 2
Ooh.
rails. Did go 2. Okay. He took a gulp. Like, oop. Now he's got to dig down. Draw back.
Yeah, and, you know, if you want to have mad respect for people, just imagine these players, you know. It's easy to say, you know, maybe this match wasn't for me, wasn't my time. Plus, there's so many other things they're doing here. You know, if one got away, maybe it doesn't feel so bad, but that's not these two guys at all. Even though FEDOR struggling early, trying to get it together.
Well, it's everything we thought it was going to be. Both players playing their heart out.
Yeah, really good stuff. The combination on the 1-4 tickled the 2 open. Probably the shot of the match there on the 1 so far to cut it down and get out, especially because the heat's on playing FILLER, and you can tell he's not 100%.
He really had to gut out 3 or 4 balls in that run. And after starting with that tenuous combination that's playable but also missable.
Can he get extra points on the TPA for that out?
Exactly. Sometimes these racks, I think they should get 2 games on the scoreboard rather than just 1.
Well, that's why the beauty in the rules and of course the equipment being right, because we get to see more of the game. You know, get to see some fight back and forth. Real sports is when they're both involved, not just a break and run fest, really. All the time, I mean.
Yeah, we both agree. I mean, this has been a battle. Look at what Gorst is playing 875, FILLER just over 900, 906. That's high quality. Just a fragment right of dead center on the table, or maybe dead center. 2 and the 6 right behind the 1 ball. 9 and 5 are the wing or the corners.
Oh, they're flying.
Cue ball.
Oh,
okay.
That kiss.
Now that is not an unforced error. That was just promoted by misfortune. Sometimes you can scratch and it's your fault. This is a time when it's not really your fault. Yeah, sickening. You fight so hard and then leave an open layout here with 2 or 3 balls down on the break and ball in hand.
Yeah, it looks like starting to really break the balls much better. Break and run in the last when FEDOR broke. Looked like for sure he'd probably get some type of, controlling position on the 1 if he doesn't get a kiss, if not another break and run.
Yep, you can't express any energy over the misfortune. Just powder up your chin and get ready for your next turn. So.
All right. Could have got a little more angle here. Just a little off, so he's going to stun. And again, he doesn't try to get more out of it. That's that mentality he has. Just keep it simple.
Very good shot there. That little hint of a knock off angle, so you'll have tons of backspin to check it up. Looks like it's cue ball wanting to go there, but it doesn't. You have to hit it with effective backspin to get it there.
Yeah, the key to that shot is don't quit. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people try to control that little speed coming off that ball, and instead of understanding the tip position is what really does it. You not quitting on the stroke.
That also happens when you throw the cue too. You know, you don't quit on it. You get through.
Yeah, the other thing about throwing the cue is the elbow don't break much. You know, that's the other big advantage of it, really. I mean, everything stays on plane really well as the cue continues through the ball. The Coe brothers they have a video on it because they both have that technique. You know, Big Coe a little more than Little Coe.
Yeah.
But they have a great video on it, actually. It's in Mandarin, of course, but they have subtitles. And, I'm a lot more confident in it now, and I'll talk about it here in a moment, what I'm talking about, filler with a big 10. It's just ice in the veins. But what I mean, when you teach, you're thinking about your clients and your students and whatnot. Now teach some youth, and so parents are involved as they should be. But, when you go to talking to a parent or a kid and a parent, and you say, yeah, I'm going to teach them how to throw the cue, they might look at you a little crazy, I mean, like, throw the cue, what are you talking about,
Yeah.
So you have to kind of get and explain how it works and what the effect of it is and why so many players do it, whether they know it or not. But, yeah, it's been real handy. Some players play that way now. A couple ladies I worked with that it really helped their timing. But it's also a good way to practice timing. Like even if you're someone that doesn't throw the cue normally, because if you decel or get quick at the top, either one, the throw's never going to happen. So you'll always clinch down there at impact.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a good thing for timing to practice. The rack track right there, we missed it for Josh, and you can see 400 on the breaking.
Yeah, 2 successful breaks out of 5.
Exactly. That shows you how tough the table's breaking overall.
6 balls tracking.
Much better.
Oh, boy. This will not embolden any good feelings for FEDOR GORST and his fans to see this.
Yeah, an awful kiss in the last one on the break. Very similar to his last match. His
Yeah.
first 2 got kissed in those corners. And a run out from there, of course, with ball in hand for Josh. But now it looks like a possibility of another.
I used to get upset when Pat would deduct. He got into that one pretty good. I used to get upset with Pat when he would deduct for a kiss on the scratch, And I think, well, that's not fair. But he did it for everybody. But then when you think about it, sometimes you get kissed out of the scratch. And so it balances out in that regard. We don't talk about when you get kissed out of the scratch much, but we always talk about when you get kissed into. And the main thing is you do it the same exact way.
Yeah, it's just a little more cut and dry. That's all.
Well, pretty good bonus here for Gorst to even have a chance to possibly come back to the table from the way the opening of the layout looked.
He's kicking light, trying to graze it and come above these other balls like that.
Pretty heady play.
Yeah.
Man, that deserves a round of applause.
Well, a lot of times, right, if you're thinking about kicking safe, he knew he was kicking to that rail, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone in the building did. And him betting he's going to hit it 100% of the time. So when you have that situation, you're real confident. That's when you would imagine, if I was to shoot from that rail that I'm kicking from, and I had to play safe, what would I do right there? I'd probably clip the 2 and come over here. And so when you're in a good situation and you know you're going to hit it and you know the route you're going to, that's when you start to get involved trying to do something with the kick shot.
Yeah. We've seen it throughout this match. These kick shots have all been played with purpose.
Mm-hmm. And again, the 10-footer gives those kicks a little more, defense, right? A little more security or a little more opportunity to get back to the table after a kick shot. Speaking of a big kick shot, this is to keep Josh off 8. Trying to get out of this. And
he's going to 2-rail it. He can make the 2 with this shot. He can also get great separation.
Watch the scratch. Watch the scratch. Yeah, it was just the angle. You got to know it wants to slide on that angle.
I thought he was going to go the other way and get thin on the 2 and
across
let the
the top of
down.
it. Yeah, across the top of
2
it.
rails.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what I meant, rather than underneath, because that scratch was always there.
No, it was 2 rails was definitely the play, but like Mark talked about, try to come across the top of that ball's what you want to do, or just kick easier really, and just take a little like, oh, let me make Josh come with one from way down here.
Yeah, you can't give Josh 2 turns with a good open layout. He did falter on the first turn, but counting on him to falter again.
Got a little thinner than he wanted here. He just wanted to come 1 rail. So I don't think he stuns. I think he just rolls this and gets a little above the 9 right there. No reason. And he's close enough he can play a light stun draw, or he could just roll it with a little right English. All right. He's really good at this kind of, it looks kind of like a push stroke because he goes down and then comes up with the tip just a little bit. But so accurate. It's definitely not a push stroke, but it just appears that way a little bit when he cues that ball.
Ooh, okay. That little tickle there changed things a little bit.
Simple mistake. Something you don't see very often.
Now, he can shoot his way out, but it's not anywhere near as routine as what it would have been.
Yeah, and it's not just the shot. You know, the 9's in a position he has to play the cue ball a little bit. So I'm not sure how. Can he check it with just a hair of inside? Just a skosh and go ahead and put a little speed on it?
With the extension stretched out, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice shot. Nice, clean, everything under control.
He's got the kill stroke here if he wants it. May come across the short side, though.
Yeah, he kind of pointed over there like he wants to just glide this in and not try to potentially guide it, trying to slow down. I'd think he'd hold it, though. I don't think he would go across from this, where my perspective is, but he did. Effortless.
But you notice he didn't force the second rail. So smart, because when you force the second rail, that's when the speed can start to get away from you. Get a little odd on the 10. Really good.
Yeah. 8-4 is our score.
Filler inching closer to the finish line.
Josh is now at 9:15 on the TPA.
The finals will be held right here at 9 o'clock tonight. A couple more sponsors we want to thank. National Billiards Academy.
The winner of this match will have $8,000 and a chance at 9 p.m. to become the champions, and the loser of this will go home with $4,000.
Masters Chalk.
And a great result.
And of course, Diamond.
Filler got here by beating Mieszko Fortuński in the first round. That was a great match. Was that 10-9? Do you remember? Filler and Fortuński.
No. 10-8 or 10-7.
Okay.
He had a chance, though, to get it in there, like close. I mean, he'll possibly.
And then Filler kind of ran over Mora. And then Gorst beat Jason Shaw and Zielinski. So definitely the toughest route if he gets by Filler. It'd be Shaw, Zielinski, and Filler. That would be 3 in the top 10 in the world right there, 3 in a row. Good break again. Both the balls right behind the 1, and the best he has is a bank, maybe. Yeah, pleading with the 6 to stop and at least leave me a bank to shoot at. To start off with yet another game with a safety exchange. 3, 6, 7, so he made 3 balls in the break.
I don't know if he can stiff this or not. I
Yeah.
think he can.
I mean, it's certainly not what you was hoping to start with, but that's all you have.
It's just a matter of the 6 is what I'm talking about. I don't know if the 6 is in the way, and the way he's acting, it's not. I think for him, It's as much of a hanger on this type of bank as possible. Like, this is the kind of how you want to hit it, with a little cut and a hair of check to go forward with the cue ball for the 2. He drew out of it. That's fine.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. And do not think that was not a missable bank, despite the fact that it was kind of an on-angle bank.
And when I say hanger, I meant more for FEDOR GORST than most of us, yeah.
But even then, you wouldn't bet your life on it. You just know you have a high ratio of making it.
Okay, is this going to get funny flat down here?
I think
No,
he's
it's
okay.
okay,
Yeah, he can just go forward here.
Yeah. And this is where let it develop if you go forward. I mean, let it open up a little bit. Now, the table's a little more broken in, and so it's not looping as much. So I was thinking he may play the stun. He likes that anyways.
That's harder to control. The speed is the only thing.
Yeah, but these guys, again, when you're close, right, it really does come to preference a lot. Why make yourself uncomfortable, you know what I mean? Or let's say less comfortable, not maybe uncomfortable, but less comfortable with something you like, you know? Because when you're close, you know, the speed on any type of shot, stun, whatever it is, should be really good. Really more about when you start to get further away from the ball, you really need to have those standard ways to do things because your percentages go way up, not only speed control, pocketing the ball and whatnot. Well, Gore's fighting here, huh?
Very much. He knows he's not completely out of it. You can't win a tournament like this if you can't come from behind.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that alternate break when it first came out, you know, once you got behind like this, but it just does not make sense. It never has, that you can't come back. I mean, that's how you got behind playing alternate
Right.
break.
How can somebody get ahead if you can't come back?
Corey Deuel? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
We first started playing alternate break, some of them tournaments, you get him 4-1 in a race to 11 or something, he'd be like feeling like he can't come back. And then he might beat you because he just starts swinging at him, you know, and kind of get a game back or two, and then you're feeling weird about it because he's just playing like, you know, it was a banger, you know, and he knows what he's doing, that guy, Corey Deuel. FEDOR GORST does too, and cuts it back to 8-5.
That was his second break and run out of the set. Filler has one. Opened up with a nice bank there to get that started.
Filler will have a chance to break. The possibility to reach the hill. It's 8-5.
This is big time pool. I mean, you can't feel bad. All you can do is pour your heart into it, give all you got, and whatever happens, happens. If you're going to play at this level, this is the big leagues. The other team can shut you down.
Yeah, and only one break and run from Filler and 2 from FEDOR, but it hasn't been, it's been the break really that slowed it down. It's not really like they haven't performed after the break.
Well, it's been a great match. A lot of exchanges that were very interesting.
All right, Filler breaking from a little different location than his opponent.
This match has a lot for us to describe, too, because there's so much going on here at this high level.
Yeah, they play those kick shots a lot more. They play those percentages.
It is a dry break.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, the 10 got some movement. We've seen that all week. When the 10 is moved, the dry break has been fairly common. 4-10, I don't know if it's playable or not, but it's close.
I think it is.
Yeah. I mean, he's got work to do to get there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he can, if he's comfortable here, I don't know about the 2-9 because it looks like the 2's going to fall a little bit towards the 8 and the 7. He can get underneath the 2 and play it in the side, which may offer getting on the 3 a little easier than you think, but we'll see. I think it's going to be the 2-9. It's got to go. It's got to go. He's got some big pockets. It's kind of. But
Ooh, so I got right in the in-between thing here.
yeah. And a little bit awkward with the safety, to be fair. I mean, anytime that center of the table's open and you don't have a natural to get behind somewhere, it's going to be hard. That's why I was saying maybe look underneath the 2, because you could play it off the 10 just in case you didn't like, where you were at on the 2. You could roll forward to get on that short side on the 3 maybe.
Don't scratch. Don't.
Perfection.
I thought he was
perfection.
I look at the ball speed on it too.
That was by
afraid
design,
he was
by the
going
way,
off.
also.
Yeah, I thought he might tickle off the back of the 5 there. So, but man, that turned out great.
When you talk about resolve and everything we were saying, and just a lot of heart, no backing down. He had to put a lot of speed into that to carry it all the way down to the 5 on a gap, kind of stun it a little bit. How do you go around that one?
Well, okay, Gorst is rewarded for a good safety play. Now it does look like it's just 2, 3, 4, 10 if the 10 goes off the 4. He's looking at it, so it's clearly not right in. He looked to see the gap between the 4 and the 10.
Can he not throw it a little bit?
Yeah, well, I don't know it's frozen, but he's looking at, it goes. It's almost on. He just wants to make sure it's on.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be froze to throw it. If they're within an 1/8 of an inch, you can still get a lot of carry on the ball. And if you only need a little bit, but I think he was looking to just flat chop the 4 onto the 10.
In any event, whatever has to be done is what's going to happen because he knows all the shots.
Well, again, another huge rack. Be 8-6.
And a hard-earned one, too.
And FEDOR breaking in the next, right? Is that right? Yeah, FILLER broke dry, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, with speed, it looks like pretty impossible to miss, I think.
So it's clearly pointed to the point in the pocket here on the high side of this because he's taking his time here. It's not just automatic. It's very makeable, however.
Yeah, I think throwing it was real easy, but maybe not. Sometimes they sit funny where the throw just doesn't want to take that much.
They made sure he got it down. Okay. He's back within 2 games, 8-6.
Back within 2.
Of course, TPA now creeping up near 900, 877.
Here at the Bigfoot 10-ball challenge.
I'm enjoying this.
Oh, yeah. I love to see fight. I mean,
Yeah.
when the players, of course, we've seen them play perfect a lot of times, pretty perfect anyways. But to see, some struggle and then show that heart, I mean, that's really what sports is about.
This whole event would be, to me, worth it just to come see this one match. There's Chris Bartram in the background. He was sitting next to Mark Showalter.
And where is he at, Chris?
Right down here, right behind
I'm sure he hadn't changed
Josh
a whole
Filler.
lot, but oh, yeah. Great player, Ohio native.
Yeah, he would fight hard playing for the cash.
Oh, yeah. His game came so far, and of course, a lot of it was that brain and determination, really. And I think, if he would have stuck with it, he would have just kept improving and really had a lot of tournament results. More of the gambler type, though.
5-ball rattled in.
All right.
He's going to get a shot. He did.
He's a little flat, Mark?
Yeah, but after the break, this isn't too bad.
No.
Negotiate. Boy, it's going to be tough to get down there and play the 2 straight in the corner pocket, though.
Yeah, the draw stroke,
Oof.
You would have to get past the 8. That's the danger.
Well, it looks like the hint of the 9 is in the way, too. It looks like
really?
Here on the overhead.
Yeah.
Now, from my perspective, maybe not. If I look on the table, but if I look on the overhead, the angle looks like it's a hint towards the 9. And plus, it takes a big stroke from here. The cue ball is going to be jumping over to the 1. Then it's got to settle down. You got to have enough spin to carry the 8. This would be, I guess, if we were golfing.
At the bank.
Okay, yeah, that'll let you get down there, but ooh.
But he's got to cross it over with spin.
And it's
it
a
doesn't.
5x10. I mean, this is not an automatic bank, but that is the best way to get out.
He's coming for the 2 in the side. Oh, he crossed it
Smooth.
that way. Wow, I didn't know he could beat the kiss going with that kind of ball. What a shot.
Oh, what a shot. What a shot. He has it all. Filler, I looked over. He was shaking his head side to side just slightly like, you got to be kidding me. This guy knocked that in. I don't play people that do this all the time. I'm usually the one making the great shot.
Yeah, just a hair off angle here. Just got to pay attention.
Pretty smart.
Yeah.
Pretty smart.
Yeah, rather than that, trying to navigate, right?
Yeah.
To always talk about don't run into balls, but when it makes sense, don't try to avoid it so much. Doesn't want the longer shot on the 6, so he's going to try and, I don't know where he's going to go with the cue ball other than just taking the longer shot on the 6, but I guess he's trying to get back behind it. That's the only thing that makes sense if you're coming above the 7 here, trying to spread off the second rail.
Oh,
Ooh.
look out, look out, look out.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, he was trying to get on top, the high side of the 7, but in so doing, he caught it a little bit full from what he anticipated, and that widened it out.
Yeah.
He even went way, well past the side pocket. It wasn't just.
He was trying to get for the 6 on the side.
Oh, he was trying to get there.
Yeah,
Okay.
the angle on the 3 to
see.
come to the 7 doesn't
Now,
get you to the corner for
That
the
was
6.
smart.
Yeah.
I thought he was trying to come short and come.
And then he would have been on top of the 6 that way. That's what I was saying. The angle doesn't make sense. I was right on the line of it. He was trying to float behind it. That's why you saw lighter speed a little bit.
Ooh, this big shot here. Huh. Good recovery. What a shot. Even Filler tapping his leg, saying, boy, you came with one there. Complete respect for both players to each other, too. They recognize what exactly is going on here and how tough and hard fought this match has been.
Yeah, and you can learn a little something right there, making a bunch of big shots. Now finally fell in line. Easy to get down on it quick, but he took his time, right? Now he's just got to stop his ball.
It's so easy to have a let up after you come with all that great stuff, then not get out, which then negates none of the previous stuff means anything if you don't get out.
And I think the let up happens a lot more often when you just get down on that easy one quickly, and just kind of take it for granted.
Well, you shouldn't even call it easy. You should say less difficult.
Yeah.
Because you can't blink at the wrong time no matter what the ball is. It went a little further than he really wanted. I think he can spin across. I think he can get past the side pocket. Well, he's looking like he can. So.
Yeah, well, this is close. And again, technique comes in a little bit. He doesn't want to get way off the cue ball center with the low. So if he wanted to float it, like a Efren, way he can spin the ball, he could float it past the side here. He's going to let it try and open up. So
something happened there because he did not have to get this tough on this ball. Everything else he did perfect, but this one, something happened. There was a little mental let up there. Okay, it opened like you said, even though the cloth was a little bit broken. He kind of widened.
Yeah. Well, that's why you try to cut it a little thinner. That way you get a little more angle coming off that 9 ball. That way you get a little more open on it. But that's what I was going to say. How you hit the pocket, like you always say, makes a big difference on how that ball spreads right there, or doesn't spread, rather. Taking nothing for granted here to get it 8-7. Kind of from nowhere, too, right, Mark?
Yeah. This would be his third breaking run out of the set, but he's still got – this is a big shot. Got to cash this in. And now with this, now there's a chance Filler could falter a little bit. Now you got some heat back on. 8-7, here we go.
Off that great shot from the 1. So
you know what happens? Filler broke dry, okay? And now 2 breaking runouts on either side of it. Yeah, the rack track looking good. So when you have 2 breaking rounds and you break dry, now you try to overdo the break on your turn to make sure you don't break dry again, and now Whitey gets loose, and sometimes you can scratch or something bad happen. You mishit him, trying to overhit him. So
I agree. I mean,
things can happen here.
Yeah. That's one thing these guys, we don't have caddies, which, would help sometimes because they can look at what's going on and have little reminders and calm you and whatnot.
Right.
And these two are two of the absolute best in the world, top 5, both of them for sure. Because generally they don't let those little mind games get in there, but we're all human.
Well, Fedor's coming. You know that, so you're going to have to retaliate here, but you can't force the break.
Yeah, I think his best break was the one where it wasn't babied, that's for sure, but it wasn't everything he has. Oh, yeah, more of the pop that time. Lighter for sure. Yeah.
4-ball, good job. Didn't overdo it. Oh, boy. Look at this.
Yeah. The 3 goes, I think, also.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's going to happen.
You get down against Filler, alternate break, what was it, 8-4 maybe, or something like that?
It definitely was.
You got to believe you're going to probably have to win this hill. That's just,
yeah.
Football, they talk about it all the time, halftime adjustments. And, you get down, and the good coach knows, okay, we're going to probably have to win this game in the last 5 minutes.
Last possession.
Exactly, yeah.
The last possession dictates how it comes out.
So just accept it and know that. But the good thing is Fedor's looking really good, So given the opportunity,
right,
which is the question, the opportunity,
right,
I think he does get the job done as far as when he gets that opportunity.
Yeah, Gorst is playing 892 now, 904 for Filler.
Yeah, 892 with the, a small highlight reel of shots to get to that position.
And the other guy really shooting back at you perpetually is, and not like he's giving you opportunities.
Now, the 3 is similar to the 7 earlier Fedor had going by the 8. It was very tight. It seems like Josh is wanting to stay away from that, wanting to move the rock much more.
Yep.
Uh-oh, 7.
Something good or bad is going to happen here.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Well, it could have turned out, if it goes another 3 inches, boy, he's a brilliant shot, just brilliant. But
yeah, but I do believe the 3 did slide by. It's very, very tight, but the 7, so.
I thought so too, but I guess he felt more confident that.
If it's super tight, you can't falter that really. Yeah. All right, wanting to go towards between the 9 and 10 with the cue ball. Oh, he caught it thick, so he's gonna hope he leaves a difficult shot, and he did.
I think it's cuttable.
Oh, it is cuttable.
Yeah, I think he can make this.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's easy, but I think it's very makeable. And then
3 rails around, going right at the 5. Well, I'll tell you what, if he gets out here, you're going to hear some claps, that's for sure. It's going to get a little louder in here, folks, to tie this match at 8 apiece. And the routine is back in play, by the way, for FEDOR GORST, taking nothing for granted. Needs a little right, not a lot, just a little. He avoids the 9.
Good shot. Didn't overdo it, didn't try to get too good. Let the table kind of carry the cue ball around, making sure to avoid the 9.
Yeah, I don't think he'll force much here. Just take the shot on the 6 from where he likes. Come between the 7-10 with the cue ball. Looks pretty natural. When shooting the 6, that is, he'll come between the 7-10 with the cue ball.
Top spin, maybe a high left.
I would. I don't want to get running with inside.
Okay,
you know what I
high
mean?
left, yeah.
Because running, if you overdo it a little bit,
yeah,
you can cook that ball behind the 7.
And he got the cue ball just another foot or so closer. Gives him a little bit more control getting on the 7 here. A little bit more accuracy on the 6, shorter range.
Yeah, because he shouldn't involve the second rail here at all. Just float between. Mild drag.
Just mid-table position. Okay, terrific. Terrific. Very manageable now.
Yeah, and that drag with the tip not so low, it is low, but not so low, is such an effective shot. And I think I didn't use it hardly near enough when I played. Didn't learn it enough, really.
Just going to stun it over by the side pocket, let it release with a little bit of left. And might have fallen pretty straight, so he'll have to accept a little longer 9 than if Hetty had the angle here, but he wanted to make sure he got away from the side cushion.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, you come down here close to it, you can always draw out of it. Usually you can take a little longer shot, but also you just need a hint of an angle to really improve on the 9. He happened to not get that much angle, but normally you aren't going to fall straight. You're going to fall one side or the other just a little bit.
And that was the effortless draw, got him back to the center of the table here. Look at zeroing in on this 9.
Yeah, we missed some of that at the beginning of the match, but we can set that aside. We're about to be 8-8. Just right where all of us wanted to be with this match to start day 4 and the final day of the Bigfoot. That final will be at 9 o'clock tonight.
All right, 8-8. I'm not cheering for anybody. I just love great pool.
Well, there's that applause I was talking about.
Oh yeah,
A lot of FEDOR fans, but they want the hill, right?
Everybody's into it.
Look at Gorst pulling ahead on the TPA now at 900, 895 for Mr. Filler.
81 balls now pocketed for Gorst versus 68 balls. 9 airs for Gorst, 8 airs for Filler.
Yeah, a little discussion here, and I'm not sure what's going on with Ricky.
Question about timeout. Question about timeout. Yeah.
Well, he already had one, I thought, but maybe he didn't take that timeout.
I don't know, yeah. There was a discussion.
All right, FEDOR Gorst back at the racking in.
Here we go.
We didn't move. No one moved.
Race to 2. Here we go.
Yeah. Of course, momentum would make you want to bet on FEDOR, but of course the breaking first here and breaking on the hill, if it goes that distance,
Yeah.
you got to believe he's a little favorite now.
My friend earlier today said, what do you think? I go, oh, this is 50-50. I couldn't. There's no gamble to it. This would just be flip a coin. Either guy could win this set for sure. Little shout out to my wife, Karaoke Kathy, and she'd say this: if you don't like this, there must be something wrong with you.
All right. Little pause at the cue ball and then a big explosion.
Oh, turned out okay, I think. Look out, 3.
Oh, he's fine.
Okay.
He's got a tester for sure anytime you're behind the ball, especially on the 10-footer. But the good thing is the speed is real natural to come across for the 2, so he doesn't have to jam it, doesn't have to put anything extra. So the pocket should be a little more friendly. And then really past the 2 mark, everything else is on this end, the 3, 5, 7, 8 till he gets back to that 9, 10. So knocking the 1 in and shape on the 2 really tells us a lot about game number 17. Or will tell us a lot. All right, aims a little high with the tip. It will fall downward a little bit on the last stroke. Oh, we caught the 9. It's okay though.
I don't know. Is it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's so good, he can even go 1 rail. He doesn't even have to put the inside if he doesn't want to. Which I like if I can avoid it, you know. So just make sure you get through the ball a little bit. The 10 shouldn't be a problem.
He for sure did not mean to rub the 9. It just happened. But he glided the 1 ball in there pure.
Yeah, I think that's the decision he's trying to make right now. You know, there's a hair of a threat. I mean, say you get a little kick or maybe don't stroke it just right, you could catch the 10 1 rail coming up. But, I mean, a little right English, you stay away from it for sure.
Got to stay super still on these. Deliver right straight on through. Perfect.
Yeah, nice shot.
Perfect.
Now you can just pinch it back a little bit. Should be just ideal to have the angle to drop on the 7. Just make sure you don't get too much angle. Skylar Woodward and Alex Pagalion playing that Banks match. I was wondering who he was playing. I figured it was probably going to be a top player.
Yeah, we're getting whittled down now where it's all featured matches in the bank pool.
Yeah, but none more featured than what we have going on here in our first semifinal of the Bigfoot Challenge. What year is this on the Bigfoot? How many years?
11.
11, okay.
We missed a year because of COVID, but
Yeah.
Anyway. You know what's interesting here? He took that side cushion out of it for sure by deliberately going 2 cushions and get that out of the way.
Yeah,
Rather than roll. He didn't want to roll it. He wanted to play the ball with enough pace, and so he just automatically took that second cushion out of play here.
You know what happens is you can actually put a little more stroke on it because you're chewing up the real estate there with a little English, a little side, and a little bit of low. So you're not having to kind of baby the ball a little bit. I think it was 8-4. What's the chances that FEDOR gets to the hill first?
Table 7, you're on the clock.
There you go. A very appreciative audience. His third breaking run out of the set.
Nine games to 8. But Filler
Gorst is pouring it on.
for a chance to make this thing a hill match. Derby City, we having fun out there. We're having a great matchup here from some great champions. And finding out who's moving on to the finals of the Bigfoot 10-ball challenge.
Yeah, it's a shame this one has to end. Nobody's going to lose, just somebody ran out of time. That's what's going to happen here.
Yeah, we could extend the race. It's fine by me, just so we could watch a little longer.
Yeah. No, everybody got their money's worth in this one for sure.
Yeah, and, you know, we haven't had a lot of lead changes because FEDOR did struggle at the beginning, you know, but we are at the score we anticipated, I think, given the opportunity. But just imagine if FEDOR was on from the get, probably 5 or 6 lead changes with 2 guys
Two
like
ball
this.
ranged
Yeah.
in.
Oh, he's figured out the speed. He's not crushing
he's
them anymore.
getting,
Yeah,
he's getting the shot here. All right.
All right, a little rail first maybe to get on the 3-5. Wouldn't want to have to cut the 3-5 much. You want to be facing it a little bit to get a lot of control. Could stun it out there as well.
He might not even want to fool with the 3-5 though.
Oh, really?
Well, I guess he does.
Oh, he went too thin, but it's okay. He's cued a ball. Problem here is he's going to have to check the cue ball a little bit. Caught the one a little thin with the rail first.
This little combination here, it's very sensitive. It's kind of like FEDOR's earlier, where the object ball the secondary object ball got away from him. You still pocket it, but you got to pocket it pure to get that stop.
He's so smart. He's going to put speed though. Oh no, he didn't. He played the
Okay.
kill. I thought he might put a little more speed, trying to get a little more reaction off the 3 there, and still kill the cue ball. But you know, we love seeing this guy make tough shots, anyways. And
For me, I thought he should have played around the combination and played the object ball 3 ball all the way in the corner.
yeah.
Because you couldn't get the cue ball real close to the combination, and so now this very thing happens. Now you got to be a shot maker, which he's perfectly capable of doing.
Yeah, one of the prettiest shots in pool, past the side, down the rail. Real conviction. Just like right there, right? We were talking about acceleration, right?
Yeah.
Looked like a real nice, smooth stroke. But you see how much pace the 3 had? So that, you know, proves that we don't really see a lot of speed, but by the time they get that tip to contact going through, there's a lot of pace on that cue stick.
Mm-hmm. Great shot. Great shot. Very easy to falter on that one.
Okay, not really looking too much. The 7's out in space a little bit, so you don't want to be uber flat with the 8 all the way down. I think I would have liked more angle, but he's just going to work it. Draw stroke.
Take a big swing here. You got it.
That's Joshua Filler. All right, you can go a long ways. He can handle a lot. So don't baby it too much. Come on one rail. You can go all the way past the side to make yourself comfortable.
Right in the heart of the pocket. Beautiful. Perfect speed. Filler going to retaliate with a break and run out of his own to get to the hill.
Well, I hope he gets that same applause. I know he won't because Federer's a little more fan favorite here in America, but hats off to Josh.
Yeah, he totally deserves it. 2 warriors. Yeah, they're both smiling.
Let's hear it for both of them, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, yeah. Whole crowd. Good job, Derek. Get everybody involved here.
No matter who wins, really just the type of match we wanted to see, or at least I think you and I, because, or you and me rather, but, you know, was it just breaking runs? There were a lot of safeties, but, you know, some troublesome times for Federer, it looked like, you know, so we saw a lot of heart coming back, no matter, again, who wins. But
some nice bank shots, some
yeah,
great
everything,
kick shots.
everything, yeah.
And, you know,
What
even
about the one down the corner when he played the combo and he had to cut the 1 down? I said he should play safe on the 9.
Yeah.
FEDOR GORST went back and forth.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's a shot right there. It was like 8-5. Like that match is over, really.
Right.
Most likely, if he
could easily
misses
get
that.
away from you there.
Yeah.
Even right now, and as we see Federer powder up his chin. Okay, my heart rate's up. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
My adrenaline's going.
Yeah, I don't need any more coffee, that's for sure.
910, 907 RTPA.
Yeah, Hill, big comeback. Another strong-minded guy. He will not back off here. There is no trying to cinch the break. Two
ball.
of them down.
Oh, well, he didn't get kissed into the scratch at least, so whatever happens.
Is there a gap here? No, I think the 9's got him.
And then the 3 is ugly too down there if you're trying to make that ball.
Well, that might help him actually with the push. I don't know. I don't think so, though. I think the 1 does go. And it's just we rarely see a break and run when it's hill. I mean, it's amazing. I don't know what the percentages are, and I'm talking about with the greatest players. Just rarely happens.
Yeah, you know, how do you push out the Josh Filler?
Yeah, I think it's got to be a kick. I mean, it's just got to be, I believe.
And it's hard to tangle anything up from here. That's not easy to do.
Yeah. The problem is he could roll out to a sliver over there where he's looking, but the sliver is a pocketable sliver, I think. And I don't think Josh will pass it. I think Josh will bet on himself to try and win the match from there.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be a kick. Unless the 1 doesn't go by the 3, but I think it does.
Maybe he can push out the. Oh, what's he doing here? I thought he would go a little further so he could go between the 1 and the 3 and kick it back down table if Josh gave it back.
Well, I think he should have pushed it a kick anyways, but if he's got a piece of this, I think the 1 goes. And I don't see how, if the 1 goes and he's got the correct piece, I'm not sure he could pass this, that being Josh.
Look at Federer's body language, very erect.
Yeah, and there is a shot clock, so extension needed. I'm sure
I think
he's already called it.
On the push out, though, no, I think you get 60 seconds on the first shot, right? So he passed it back, right? Let the clock elapse. FEDOR powders up the chin. Here we go.
Well, if this one goes and he shoots it and knocks it in, I'd be a little astonished that Josh didn't take it on. A little bit.
Well, this is missable.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, where else are you going to roll out
When
to?
you-
You got to roll out to missable for sure. I mean, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen it all week that way, but all right, big shot here, and you're not going to slow roll. You're going to come around. It's enough to get by the 5. I think it's going to be.
Wow. What a shot that was. Incredible shot.
And I'm totally shocked that FILLER passed it. Maybe he's not feeling it. Maybe he's feeling the pressure a bit. I think he can get at the 3.
Oh, wow.
Yep. A little concerned with the 7 because he's not going to apply too much spin here. He may apply a hair of left, but it won't be much. He certainly won't blast it.
Again, you see chin on the cue, head very still.
Oh, he caught the 5. Wow. Didn't expect that. I'm expecting maybe a miss, maybe not the best position, but did
Honestly,
not expect the foul.
I felt that was far simpler than the one ball. That
Oh,
he
it was
okay.
100%, yeah.
But, I mean, it was clearly that tough.
Yeah,
Also,
you know, I think,
both shots.
you know, might take a few hours, but if Josh gets out here, I might ask FEDOR about that shot right there. Was it that tight, or was it something? Sometimes we overlook it. You know, sometimes we look and we say we're okay, and we're really not. That does happen occasionally.
Well, we want it so bad that we
Yeah.
start to think of something that's actually not reality.
Yeah. Okay, he may have to play from underneath here. I don't know how much angle he's got. The only thing is, if you force it a little bit, you could get a bit thin on the 7, trying to get above it. May play just killing the ball, taking the draw stroke on the 7. Yeah, like that. And
Well,
this
both balls were tough for FEDOR.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he made a fantastic shot. If FILLER passed it up, it was not easy.
No, good point. And this is where the 10-footer helps you, too, when you're trying to beat an angle, drawing past the side. You got a little more space to get it going. It looks like he probably goes to the other side of the 9 to play in the opposite corner of the 8. Oh, he's done that way. A little more check.
I think he's going to have to go around it. Well, I don't know.
He can come 1 rail cross inside.
Okay.
Yeah, he can come 1 rail cross.
Okay.
He can go 3, too, 3 rails if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And I've seen him do it.
Well, you
worry.
don't want to from here because that side pocket looms large. So
Yeah, just a little inside.
okay, he got up just enough. Match ball now.
Ooh. Ooh.
All right. Well, both players TPA 904. That's how close that match was, Jeremy. That was some kind of shooting. We will see FILLER back tonight, 9 p.m.
As we continue on with the Bigfoot 10-ball challenge,
This has been World Class Pool, brought to you by ACCUSTATS, the worldwide leader in billiard programming. That is our time for this time. Until next time, so long.